Hi everyone, it's me. And today, have you checked your bed today for monsters? Sorry.
Dang kids, never cleaning up their toys before bedtime. Ugh, who still buys their kids jacks in this century? Do kids even know what these things are for anymore? Oh, what could possibly inflict this much foot pain? I really wish kids would just stick to Minecraft.
Stick to Minecraft! Lego pieces on the floor. Film theory.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory.
Hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory. Hello!
A show that proves to you that you don't need to be afraid of monsters in your closet, because the real world is filled with so much worse. Today we're talking about the Pixar classic Monsters, Inc.
Yeah, this video came out in the year 2021 and there is a global pandemic period. Even right now in the year 2022 there is a global pandemic period, so...
If you don't remember it, Monsters, Inc. isn't just the name of the movie, it's actually a power company that gets its electricity by harvesting energy from children's screams. The business model of this place is simple. Use a door portal to have a monster enter a child's bedroom through the closet, do something terrifying, and watch as the canisters of scream energy fill up. Except, as it turns out, their business model isn't working as well as it used to. Kids these days apparently are growing up too fast and losing their fear of monsters, which is kind of a weird premise, isn't it? I mean, I get that children are the ones that are supposed to be scared of monsters, but if you think about it, the people who would be most disturbed by a monster coming out of their closet door would probably be the ones who don't believe in monsters in the first place, right? I mean, not only do you suddenly have this terrifying beast roaring at you, but heck, now your entire worldview has just been shattered in front of your eyes. I guess existential dread and questioning reality just doesn't pack the same punch as a blood-curdling scream, huh? Anyway, as we start our movie, business is bad at Monsters, Inc., and things are doubly bad for star employee James P. Sullivan, aka Sully, when one day he accidentally takes his work home with him. He's spending a late night at the factory when a human girl wanders through the door and into the monster realm.
Yeah, which is a bit awkward. Boo!
Boo causes quite a ruckus since, as it turns out, monsters are just as afraid of us as we are of them. Sully, with the help of his pal Mike Wazowski, works to return her home, and along the way, low-key learns how to become a parent. Seriously, coming back to this movie now that I have a kid, there are so many scenes that hit differently, except for this one. Yeah, that moment when the 2-year-old toddler looks Sully in the eyes with the expression that says it's time to locate the nearest restroom. Most fictional thing that happens in this movie. Forget door portals and monster companies. If you're getting that look from a 2-year-old, it's already too late. Don't ask me how I know that. Animated hijinks ensue, and after foiling a plot to kidnap kids to farm screams out of them, which I totally overlooked the first time I watched this movie and is genuine nightmare fuel, we learn that kids' laughter is actually the thing that produces more energy than kids' screams. So in addition to saving the day for Boo, Mike and Sully actually save the day for Monsters, Inc. as well, whose new laughter-based business model not only leads to a happier world for little kids around the world, but also for the city of Monstropolis. But let's talk brass tacks here, alright? Finding out that laughter provides more energy than screams makes for a feel-good ending, but just how real is it? Like, what is Monstropolis really running on here? How could a scream-based energy system work? And is there an explanation for why laughter may just be more efficient? Well, believe it or not, but
I think it's just fictional magic stuff. Don't think too much about it, man.
for as fictional as this world's rules might seem, I think I've actually cracked the mechanics of how this whole thing works. So step aside, Elon Musk. Here comes Elon MatPat to show the world our next green energy source, emotion. While the idea of screams and or laughter serving as a power source might seem fanciful, you might be surprised to find out that it actually squares with real-world science. Screams and laughter, like all sounds, are the result of energy vibrating air particles, or any other material that the sound is traveling going through. Those vibrating air particles are a form of kinetic energy. So if you have a device that's somehow able to capture that kinetic energy, you would actually be in business. And wouldn't you know it, you don't have to have a special engineering degree from Monsters University to figure this out. A group of 11th grade students at Philippine Science High School made headlines when they created their own proof of concept.
October 29th of October 2019. Gosh, man, that is 3 years ago. I feel so stupid. My gosh. And that's before the global pandemic period in which people have more time to study, more free time.
A gadget that's like a speaker, but in reverse. Instead of taking electrical power and converting it into sound waves like your headphones do, they take sound waves and convert it into electrical power.
Wow.
They take sound waves to vibrate a magnet and coil system, which creates a flow of electrons. And not just a measly flow of electrons here, people. It's enough to power a 5-watt LED light bulb. Apparently this idea won him a silver award at a big science convention.
What?
To which I say, silver? Are you
What the? How do you get second place, silver? Who got the gold? Who won first? Like, tell me, did they create like what? MCU Marvel's Tony Stark Iron Man arc reactor? Huh. Maybe they will get a first place. Maybe.
you kidding me? They generated electricity from sound. I mean, what did the gold medal winner do? Create nuclear fusion? Meanwhile, all the rest of us are making bait.
See, I was thinking about nuclear vision creates arc reactors.
Soda volcanoes. Anyway, this silver medal idea gives us a place to start when it comes to how screams and laughter can possibly provide energy. One thing that should be fairly obvious is that louder sounds provide more energy. Loudness, measured in decibels, is literally a measure of how intense the sound waves are, which directly correlates with how much energy they're carrying. Except it's here that we run into our first problem. Human laughter usually registers at about 65 decibels. Screaming registers at about 90. While that might not sound like that much of a difference, it's actually significant. The decibel scale that we use to measure the intensity of sound is logarithmic. I'll spare you all the math, but it basically means that a 90 decibel scream is actually 56 times more intense than a 65 decibel laugh. Not looking too good for laughter-based power there. Maybe the monster villain's planning to kidnap the kids and strap them to chairs. We're onto something. Or maybe there's something else at work here. Maybe sound isn't the only thing being produced when you laugh or scream. These extreme emotions are experiences that engage our whole bodies after all. So we need to consider screams versus laughter as a whole metabolic experience. Luckily, real-world researchers have done a surprising amount of study on this exact topic. One found that laughter, in general, can burn anywhere between 1 and 3 calories per minute. But fear also does a fine job of kicking your metabolism into high gear. A separate study at the University of Westminster found that people watching horror movies were burning an average of 1.25 calories per minute from being in a heightened fear state.
Here's Johnny!
Get off the couch, honey. You've been sitting there all day.
Ma, I'm exercising here. Phew, I'm really working up a sweat. In fact, that 1.25 calories per minute burned from fear is actually a bit low because that was the average for the whole movie rather than periods of fear intense enough for a blood-curdling primal scream of terror, which means that, yet again, screams have the slight advantage over laughs. But I feel like there's a big thing we're overlooking here. After all, we're shown in the prequel movie Monsters University that the monsters have the ability to access all sorts of locations in the human world, yet they choose to focus on children's bedrooms. Sure, screaming kids can hit a pretty high decibel level, but let's be honest, if the monsters only cared about harvesting energy from something really loud, they could just take a door that led to like a waterfall or an airport or
True. Why must it specifically children's bedroom? I mean, it's fictional, but why?
something. Likewise, when it comes to burning calories, those 1 to 3 calories per minute is tiny. You want to harvest that much energy from the human world? You just grab a log and you burn it. You'll release 4,780 calories worth of energy, more than you get from thousands of minutes of terrified screaming, and a log ain't gonna fight back. Clearly, there's something else going on here, and I think the answer is neurochemical. Dopamine has historically been known as the brain's pleasure chemical, but that's a bit simple of an explanation. More recent research suggests that it's better described as the motivational chemical. It gives you the impulse that you really want to go out and do something. Studies show that playing video games actually doubles the levels of dopamine in your brain, which, fun fact, is about the same increase that you get from, how do I put this? Snogging very passionately. Single on Valentine's Day? No worries, friends. You have video games to keep you company.
Alright, case in point, what is your other hand doing? one hand is over here, and what is the other hand? Okay, let's keep this family friendly and wholesome. Thank you.
Brain will be just as happy. The rest of your body... And wouldn't you know it, but activities known to increase dopamine levels in the brain include laughter and, surprisingly enough, screaming. In fact, the simple act of screaming by itself is enough to trigger a dopamine release, which means that all those companies selling scream therapy pillows actually have a little leg to stand on. This method of yelling to trigger a neurochemical release and relieve stress briefly became a popular therapeutic technique during the 1970s. I say briefly because, as it turns out, the more you do it, the less effective at releasing dopamine it becomes. And there it is, my friends. That is our missing piece. That's the reason why Monsters, Inc. seems to be doing so poorly these days. Remember, their business model revolves around having a daily rotation of doors to kids' bedrooms that they repeatedly visit. And the more you keep scaring the same kids, the less dopamine each of their screams is gonna release.
Kids these days, they just don't get scared like they used to.
Yeah, Mr. Waternoose, you're right. You know why kids aren't getting scared like they used to? It's because the more you keep scaring them, the less effective their screams are. But you know what doesn't get less effective with repetition? Laughter. While the primal scream therapy technique has now fallen out of favor, there's plenty of scientific research indicating that laughter does make for effective therapeutic treatment, releasing dopamine into your system. And unlike screams, whose effectiveness decreases with repetition, laughter may actually increase dopamine levels the more that you laugh. A study by researchers at the University Hospital of Zurich found that people with higher dopamine levels were more likely to laugh when exposed to humorous stimuli, and laughter led to higher dopamine levels in the future, thereby leading to a self-perpetuating cycle where the more you laugh and generate dopamine, the easier it becomes for your brain to laugh and generate more dopamine the next time you encounter something funny. In other words, you could not ask for a better and more sustainable source of energy than laughter.
Wait a minute. I just noticed my face when I just do this kind of reaction videos. Did you notice this kind of face? Huh.
Really is the best medicine. The benefits of laughter are both short and long term, which is great news for me considering my addiction to Whose Line Is It Anyway. It's also great news for Monsters, Inc., who, by transitioning to laughter as a power source, have just found something a whole lot more effective and a whole lot more sustainable than harvesting screams.
More renewable, more sustainable.
But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And you know what's not a laughing matter? You know what truly is scary? The fact that Monsters, Inc. is not on Netflix. Yep, the old mouse has taken all of its movies and thrown them into the Disney Plus vault that you can keep open as long as you keep paying. At least in most cases, that's how it's going down.
But do you know what's in Netflix? Squid Game.
See, Monsters, Inc. is available to stream on Netflix in Egypt. But I don't live in Egypt, you say, to which I reply, you can make your internet look like it's coming from Egypt using our sponsor for today's episode, NordVPN. In 2 clicks, you change your region, and suddenly Netflix Egypt is available to you, meaning you suddenly have access to Monsters, Inc., as well as other Pixar classics that aren't streamable here in the US, like WALL-E and Toy Story. With NordVPN, you unlock a truly global internet, so region locking becomes a thing of the past. Nord allows you to watch practically anything you want with only one streaming service, and that is gonna save you money, a lot of it. Right now, a Disney Plus subscription alone is $7 a month, and that's not including all the other services that you might have. Subscribing to a 2-year plan with Nord is practically half the price, but unlocking all the content. And that's not all Nord is doing for you. Nord is also protecting you while it does that. It's easy to forget, but Nord is all about security, encrypting your data so you stay anonymous online. Unprotected P2P sharing and downloading exposes your IP address to others, unless of course you're using Nord. And with super fast servers, 24/7 customer support, and up to 6 simultaneous connections, Nord ain't slowing you down while you're doing your streaming, and it's protecting you while you do it. So get yourself a huge discount on a 2-year plan of NordVPN at nordvpn.com/filmtheory, FILMTHEORY, and when you use my code FILMTHEORY, you get an extra month absolutely free. So protect yourself, watch Monsters, Inc. without having to pay the mouse, and support a sponsor that's been supporting us for years. NordVPN. Link is in the top line of the description. And I'll see you all next week. And cut.
Well, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you found this video very interesting, enjoyable, and just educational to learn. So, entertaining, educational, edutainment! Anyways, if you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have any advice. Don't forget to follow my channel, and sincerely appreciate all of the support and encouragement for my work. You are the best, and hope to see you all in my next video. Case and point is very motivating and uplifting to see all your wholesome, positive comments down below. Thank you so much for being so encouraging and supporting me and my channel. And hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory, a film theory. And cut. Thank you. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye. Subscribe. Thank you. Subscribe.